Welcome to Experience Easier Now, the podcast. Join us each episode as we do a deep dive with agents to identify how to make life easier for them through technology.
Hi, we're the AJS home team, the mom and daughter group. I'm Shelby.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Jody.
I'm the mom.
Well, my brother originally was our broker. He's been doing real estate for 25 years, and we decided to join him 9 years ago.
So we all went and got licensed together 9 years ago and been a team ever since.
Well, one of them said they were getting their license, and I was the one that encouraged my son. And I'm like, if they're getting licensed, I'm getting licensed. So we all kind of challenge each other who could get done first.
What tasks are taking up the most time in your day?
Working through my database can take up a lot of time. For me, two things actually that I focus on in my business. I mean, there's a ton of things in real estate, right? But two things that I try and focus on are working my database and doing open houses. And so trying to get the information out there for the open houses can take up a lot of time, and just staying on top of that, especially because I'm trying to do a lot of them. And, you know, I have a business that I'm running, I have 4 kids, and so, you know, trying to get everything in can be difficult sometimes. Time's like one of the most important things. You know, if you don't have time, you can't even be happy as a mom, as a business owner. You know, when I run out of time, I get stressed out and freaked out, and then, you know, I feel like time's one of the most important things.
Time is very important as well, because I'm a very detailed person, which they're going to say. So I start getting stressed if I know there's something I'm supposed to have done and it's not. So I'm on my laptop and making sure I'm getting everything uploaded that I need to have uploaded in paperwork, and reaching out to clients as well, and making sure I have everything on time.
What are the tools or technology you use the most in real estate?
If I didn't have a phone, I'd be lost. I'm on it continual, and I do get compliments that they thank me for answering my phone, because I always answer it. I try not to, maybe if we're at dinner, but I pretty much always answer and get back to a client or a friend.
Years ago when I did start real estate, it was short sales. And we were actually walking offers over to agents, signing. Now with all the technology, I can send, we have digital signature. And so last week we went to San Diego, and I'd been showing a client a home, or actually property, land. And when I was there, they go, we think we want this one. So when I was there, we were communicating. I'd step away from the beach and was able to use the technology, and we put a deal together, executed a contract.
There are a lot of technologies out there that obviously are helpful to realtors. I would say the MLS is the big one, because we can get our listings out to all the other agents out there. Social media is huge and growing every day, and there's even tons of new apps that go along with social media that help you be able to do more with it.
Yeah. I know my brother, because he was in it 25 years ago.
Before cell phones.
Yeah, before cell phones. He went knocking on the door-to-door knocking. So there's so many things now that just speeds up, you know, the time, and I can have more time to stay in contact with people if I have these other.
Yeah, it gives you more opportunities to be able to stay in contact with them, because you're not having to go door to door and, you know,
mailing out letters, snail mail,
or
those sort of
before
things.
cell phones, you know, someone wouldn't answer and you'd have to try calling back, whatever. Now you can text, and so much easier for people to respond and things like that.
Well, and you can get a group of people all at once. That's what is nice now.
I mainly use my contact information. I'm pretty lax on it. A few times I have emailed to the clients, but I definitely use it for my labels for Christmas, family and friends. It's divided to clients. Some overlap, of course. But I am paying quite a bit per month for that, for a couple times a year, so I'm actually ready to change it up just a little bit.
But I feel in real estate, people want to work with people they trust.
Yes.
And so the more I can stay in contact with those people, it's just served me well.
What are some of the time-sensitive aspects of your work that you have to manage?
Once we get a buyer under contract, there's a lot of steps basically to move forward on. The first part would be getting the signed contract over to the lender and title company and opening escrow, getting the earnest deposit over. Once we have that accepted contract, one of the more important things is we're going to work on a 10-day inspection period. So getting that done, all the inspections that the buyer needs.
Meeting there with the inspector.
Right. And after that inspection is completed, there's possibly repairs that need to be done or possibly other negotiating that needs to be done. From there, it moves on to getting the appraisal, making sure the house, value comes in, and then kind of just cruises through the loan process. At the end, then we're setting up final walkthroughs and things like that, and making sure all the documents are signed and, good to go so we can get closed on the deal in a timely manner.
I run my deal from start to finish. There's a lot of people that have assistants, maybe they have someone doing this for them, so I do it all.
All three of us do.
Yeah, it's all three of us, that's how we do it. So it takes a lot of time, and so sometimes my clients first. So if I have a client that we're looking for property or we're looking for a home or whatever, that's the thing that gets pushed aside. So if I can have something that helps me stay consistent, that speeds up that time, that would be great.
We will welcome that.
Yeah.
So then we have more time to the beach.
Right.
Honestly, if you could just have voice, message and speak in and, say we need to get escrow opened and maybe a checklist or whatever, but just keep us going with that and speak it versus like having to type every message out. I mean, it could type it out for us as we speak. That would be wonderful.
Well, for me, I feel like something that would be awesome because I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly running around. I'm in and out of appointments. So it's hard for me to sit down and organize some of this stuff. So a lot of times I will, like for example, I'll order in my inspections. I wait until I'm driving. So if I'm in the office, I'll get all the information together, and when I'm driving, then I'll call the inspection company, and over my Bluetooth speaker, of course, I'll be able to order that inspection. But I feel like something that would be cool is, so I use my notes a lot, or my reminders in my cell phone, but I think it would be cool if you could expand on that to where it could actually do something. So when I'm driving and I think of something I need to do, like, hey, call so-and-so at noon to order this inspection or whatever, then I actually have to physically go and do it at that time. I'll get my reminder. But it would be cool if there was a technology that you could just command it to do it while we're driving or about
has all the information that the inspector asks for. They
or we're about to,
That'd be
walk
awesome.
into our next listing appointment or next showings. We can say, hey, order up that appraisal, remind the lender about the appraisal or whatever it is.
And then once the transaction is completed, it would be awesome to say, hey, upload such and such client into my database, so then we have that, because what I end up doing, I move on to the next client, and then I have a stack of things to do to add to keep it current.
Right.
So if I could just have it added right then, I could put their information, birthdays, whatever, and updates, that would save me a lot of time.
That would be huge for me. Huge. Because I do have a stack as well right now that needs to get updated.
That's the lifeline of your business.
Yes.
Here. I feel like time, like they said, just to reiterate, is so valuable because for me it's freedom. When you have, you have freedom to make choices or whatever. For example, last few days, I'm pretty much working from 8 to 9 o'clock at night. And I'm fitting my things that I need to do too, but it's nonstop. So time is very valuable, and if I can find ways to speed up things or to help me with technology, that would be wonderful.
And it kind of goes back to what I said about having maybe more time with friends or family, is the time. And I know when I was their age, I didn't realize I was going to get here this fast. So you need to really make that time special, because it happens really quicker than you really realize.
Well, and I feel like life is about balance. And if you can have balance in your life, you're just going to have joy throughout, and you're going to radiate to your clients, to your relationships.
Right.
So I feel like if you can find ways to have more time, you have more balance in your life.
How valuable would it be for you to have more time and to get these processes done quicker?
If I had the time back that I'd be spending on, the 5 hours to do all this, I could use the time. One, I'm about relationships, and so it probably would be just more into my friendships, relationships, clients, family, and I think that's where I would spend my time more, because the work, it is what it is. I put my work on a high priority, and so if I have a client, you're my priority, and so that's, if I had more time, I could use it more with my family and friends.
What Jody's saying too, it does take a lot of time, but it still does give us a little bit of flexibility being a realtor, even though you're never finished. It's from morning till night, 7 days a week, but you can take out those few hours to do some things, like we can do something on the beach. I had to get a solar charger, so if I'm on my phone too much on the beach, we're not at the beach all the time, but it is our fun time.
I love the flexibility.
Yes, the flexibility, definitely.
But if I could have something help me
to
save time,
yes.
it would give me a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
Being a mom of 4 kids, time's pretty important to me, because I work a full-time real estate business, and sometimes but flexibility, like we were talking about earlier, is awesome, because I try not to schedule an appointment like when I'm supposed to pick the kids up from school, say. If I have to at that time, I will, but typically I try and keep that time open so I can run them home. But then I'll be leaving at night to go do things, or I'll be sitting at home while the kids are eating dinner, and I'll be on my computer working on contracts and getting things ready for the next day. So if I had more time, then I would be able to give my kids more quality time and focus on them.
For me, of course, my kids are adults, but now I have 11 grandchildren as well. So, and I'm very close with all of them, and so they FaceTime me and call, and of course sometimes it's Venmo to give them money. So we have a very close family, like we said, when we're all together, and Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, trips. There's 19 of us. So it's a lot, but we love that. So if I had more time, I'd maybe even could free up a little time when they want me to come to lunch during the day, and I'm like, well, I'm working, or I'm doing this. So that would be great, because we do get together to do some of those things, but it's kind of like work included, because we're maybe brainstorming. But
yeah, the teenagers call her all the time to try and get her to come to lunch in the middle of the day, and if she had
Grandma,
more time,
what
she
are
could
you
probably
doing?
do that.
So, but it's awesome.
Do you think there's a value for notifying everybody in a certain area about an event you have coming up, like an open house? Or you just listed a house, or you just sold, so they're aware?
Sunday, Shelby and I are having an open house in my neighborhood. I farm my neighborhood, 160 homes, and so I had door hangers made, and I'm picking them up today, and my husband and I are going to go hang them on each door to invite them to our open house this Sunday. And that will take me probably 3 hours to do that.
Now, plus the time that you make to get the
We got to stop and pick them up.
sending the email to
the gas to get
the maid. We're stopping to pick them up on our way on our way to our next appointment.
Yeah, her gas.
Well, she drove today.
Yeah, so I just think if I could send something out and said, hey, come to our open house Sunday, wow, that would
be huge.
That would save me probably
Yes.
right there at least 5 hours.
So I feel like having technology that would make my job easier would be huge, because sometimes if I have so many things going on, I can get overwhelmed, and then I'll put some of the things off that I don't necessarily want to do. I'll just put them off. So if technology could make that easier, I could actually be able to get everything done that I want to get completed.
And for me, technology would be great as well. I do get things done because, like I said, I'm that very detailed person, but I would need to be stressing in the meantime to make sure it's done. If I could voice activate and tell them to do something for me, would be huge, because I'm so detailed oriented.
I think what makes it easier for me is, like I said, I do everything, and so do they. So I don't have the personal assistant. I don't have the people making the calls to set up inspections. So easier would, that would be awesome.
Thank you for joining us on Experience Easier Now. We hope you've learned something new that agents are doing using technology to make their life easier.